Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It's September 19th, 2017. The big news story: powerful earthquake outside of Mexico City, coming on the 32-year anniversary of the Mexico City earthquake that killed thousands. Mexico City, the most densely populated city in the world, and a very religious city. Lots of Christians, Catholics, believers, those who know prophecy, which is full of earthquakes. So look at this. The 32-year anniversary. If you're new here, you might think this is crazy, and you're right, it is crazy. But remember, I'm exposing crazy people, and this is how they operate. You ever heard the term the cabal? That comes from Kabbalah, which is the mysticism that God created the world by merging. What I'm here to tell you is the people running this world, they abide by this code, and they do everything by this code. In this code, bomb equals 32, and it's no coincidence that there's a powerful earthquake on the 32-year anniversary of one that happened in the same region. Now look at this. Before you say crazy, I want to remind you about the history of the United States of America, the northern neighbor of Mexico. If you're not aware, there's no need to believe, just go look it up. You're in the information age. Most of you can look at your phone right now and verify that everything I'm about to tell you is true. The Manhattan Project. It led to the underground weapons testing program from 1945 to 1992, which was ended by Bill Clinton. And in a second, I'm going to talk about the 93 World Trade Center bombing in September 11th. But first, 47 years of underground weapons testing. Atomic and nuclear bombs detonated by the count of over 1,000 in those 47 years. That's a lot of research, that's a lot of development, that's a lot of resources, and it's countless dollars of taxpayer money. Why for 47 years did we detonate massive bombs underground? What were we aiming for? Why is that better than what we could have done with those resources? I'm someone who understands that we, as the people of the world, we're a chain, we're a human link, we're a nervous system. We're only as strong as our weakest links, and because so many people are suffering and left to suffer, all of us suffer. With all of the resources and abundance we have in this world, we could lift up everybody. But we don't because we are mad. We do things such as spend trillions on blowing up God knows what. And for what purpose? Well, I'm being a little bit naive because I do know for what purpose. It's for what happened today. It's for what happened on 9/11. It's for what happened with the 93 World Trade Center bombing, which we're going to get to. 47 years that program lasted. That's a long time, you know. I'm only 34 years old. I'd have to live 13 more years to last as long as that bomb program. The president stopped it at 47 years. President equals 47, like White House, like D.C., like government, like authority. 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. Washington, D.C., named after the 33rd degree Scottish Rite Freemason, George Washington. Remember, most important of all, time equals 47. The tropics that measure the solstices for the northern and southern hemisphere, the Tropic of Cancer, the Tropic of Capricorn, they're 47 degrees apart. 47 degrees on the Freemason compass. Freemasonry based in Kabbalah. Kabbalah has 32 paths. 32 years later, bomb equals 32, so does America. America, established on a date with 32 numerology. Everything about its history, as well as Mexico, which was also settled by the same Freemasons, as well as South America, as well as this entire world pretty much at this point. You know, everything's being done by the numbers. This is the New World Order. So look at this. 93. Bomb. In the language of gematria, atomic bomb sums to 93. 93. And in 1945, that's what they were detonating with the underground testing program. Now, one more time. In today's news, they're saying the epicenter of this earthquake was 93 miles outside of Mexico City. On September 7th, on the 93rd meridian, major earthquake. Mexico also has the gematria of 93. And they said that was called the Chiapas earthquake, which equals 97, like 9/7 for September 7th. Remember also, Chiapas earthquake equals 74. So does nuclear, so does energy, so does weapon. They're going to talk about how the World Trade Centers were on the 74th meridian. So 93 World Trade Center bombing, which we're going to get to right after 47 years of underground weapons testing. In the history of war, the atomic bomb has only been dropped on one country, and that was Japan to end World War II. Atomic bomb 93, Japan 93. Now look at this. The year after the underground testing program was stopped, there was the 93 World Trade Center bombing on February 26th. And then I'll show you what's so interesting about the amount of days later in light of the word nuclear when we talk about September 11th. But look at this. Before 9/11, before September 11th, 2001, there was only one definition for ground zero. The point on the Earth's surface directly above or below an exploding nuclear bomb or atomic bomb. That doesn't say that here in this definition, but you look in older dictionaries, that's what's there because that's how it began. But notice, above or below ground. After 9/11, it was added to the definition, the site of the former World Trade Center in New York in the wake of the terrorist attacks September 11, 2001. Well, there's a lot of questions about 9/11, including where did all the tower go, including all of the steel. It takes a lot of energy to destroy steel. So think about this. And again, look this up. You don't have to believe me on anything. You can look it up and verify it. The 93 World Trade Center bombing, they said that the terrorists messed up. They planted their bombs so they exploded downwards instead of upwards. And they said had the bombs gone upwards, it would have leveled the towers. But instead they went downwards and made massive craters in the ground. Now think about that. The World Trade Center construction began in 68. The ground was broken in 66, 2 years before construction began. What were they doing underground before they built the World Trade Centers for 2 years? Think about it. This was during the time of the underground testing project that was called the Manhattan Project. The World Trade Centers are in Manhattan, you see? The building that now commemorates Ground Zero is One World Trade Center, which equals 93, just like atomic bomb, just like Japan, just like how Mexico has this, and they use 93 in today's story, as well as the last. And, you know, look this up too. YouTube already took down my channel since then, but it's all backed up on VidMe. The morning of September 5th, I uploaded a video saying there's going to be a big earthquake very soon and watch for the number 93. I said that on September 5th, and I hadn't put out any videos about predicting earthquakes. I've never predicted an earthquake before. The reason I did that September 5th was because the night before in Washington State and a lot of the northern United States, because of the fires and the spraying of skies, the moon turned bright red for us. And in the Bible, there's the total solar eclipse, there's the blood red moon, and the earthquake. We just had a total solar eclipse August 21st, September 4th, a Monday. We got a blood moon. Both were on Mondays. Then boom, 3 days later, September 7th, massive earthquake in Mexico. And 93, just like I said to look out for. So this is all part of a pattern, and this is something I've been exposing since 2013. That's why, you know, I know a lot of people will think I'm crazy, but I know I'm not crazy. It's just I'm exposing crazy people, and a lot of people can't wrap their mind around it. I still got to speak out because I know, and we the people of the world who are conscious, we got to figure out a way to stop this so it doesn't happen to our city. I live in the Pacific Northwest. There's been all sorts of scientific documentaries put out about how the worst earthquake that's going to come to this world is going to wreck the Pacific Northwest where I live. And I know when it happens, it's going to be because of this program. The Manhattan program began in Washington State. The Pacific Northwest, you can bet there's a lot of bombs planted underground all around here. You know what I'm saying? So a few more notes about Clinton being in office when the 93 World Trade Center bombing happened, when the bombs blew up holes in the ground, probably because they were planted underground. Look at this, and just think about that. After they were repairing after the 93 World Trade Center bombing, I bet you anything they put their final charges that made the towers demolish the way they did on September 11th. Everybody knows, and it's reported, that the first bombs that went off that day happened in the basement. There's the video footage, there's the testimony. It's all being whitewashed from history. The September 11th, 2001 bombing began in the basement. It's documented fact, and they try to keep this out of the consciousness of people. But it is all true. Look it up. Anyway, with regards to Clinton being the one to end it, the Manhattan Project, underground testing in 92. Atomic bomb also has gematria of 39 like New York. World War II began in 39, ended with the atomic bomb. Remember, NYC equals 39, like NY equals 39, like Empire equals 39, like there's 39 floors at the United Nations, plus a million other things. MSG equals 39, Madison equals 39. Madison made 39 proposals on a date with 39 numerology, which was June 8th, 1789, that became the 10 Bill of Rights. When you write out 10 as a word, it sums to 39, like the 10 Commandments from the 39 books of the Old Testament. The first governor of New York, George Clinton, July 26, 1739 was his birthday. George equals 39, so does Clinton, the name of the president, when this happened. And Bill Clinton was born Bill Blythe. His father was found dead in a ditch by the numbers. He was adopted into the Clinton family. You see? New York also established July 26, 1788, date with 39 numerology, which was George Clinton's birthday, who was the vice president to Madison, 39. So check this out. From the 93 World Trade Center bombing to September 11, 2001, you got to see this. You got to see this. February 26th, that's kind of like 226, you know? If you write out 226, it sums to 93. Saturn equals 93, planet equals 226. Our language is lined up with what's above. From February 26th to September 11th was 3,119 days. The World Trade Centers were proposed March 11th, 1961 by the Rockefeller family, 311, the same day the Tribute and Light began in 2002, those big purple beams. 311, they came down September 11th, which is 11/9 in the majority of the world. Anyway, 3,119 is the 444th prime, nuclear 444, energy 444, weapon 444, ground zero. Ground zero, the point on Earth's surface directly above or below an exploding nuclear bomb. One World Trade Center, 93. Look at where the World Trade Centers are on the 74th meridian. Nuclear 74, energy 74, weapons 74. You know, they got Judy Wood out here telling people about energy weapons and stuff. I mean, without getting too much into it, there's a reason you know her name. Her initials JW33, like false flag. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. False flag in Jewish gematria is 156. 911's the 156th prime. The Jewish Day of Remembrance for the destruction of the two towers is Tisha B'Av 911. You know? Think about it. Twin Towers equals 104. The new One World Trade Center is 104 stories tall. Jerusalem equals 104. That's where the two temples were destroyed. Tisha B'Av, to remember the destruction of the two temples, the two towers on 9/11, you know. July 4, 1776, also a date with 104 numerology. Jerusalem is also 32. But I hope you're hearing me. You know, I hope you're seeing what's going on. It's undeniable. This continues to happen in history, these perfect coincidences. Down in Mexico, they call an earthquake a temblor. 85, like the year this happened. Now the anniversary of it. Ritual. Notice. Playing God by the numbers. Earthquake 55, God 55, quake 55, military 55. You know? Quake also 19, happens on the 19th. Mexico City earthquake 109. Lose that 019. You see? You see this? Puebla. This is a targeted military strike by the numbers. And it's happened many times. It's been, think about it, they've been putting these bombs underground since 45. since 45. And by the way, today has 45 numerology. September 19th, 2017, 9 plus 19, 28, plus 17, 45. Look it up. Look it up. Again, everything I say, I'm not here to mislead, to give you any fantasy ideas. I'm just trying to tell people what's really up, the proof, the evidence. My reason to be here is to stop the next one from happening. You know what I mean? I know eventually it's going to be my region of the world. Again, where the Manhattan Project began. They've been predicting the destruction of Portland and Seattle with an earthquake. They said that the